Most people think of the Presidio in San Francisco as the large military complex that was built between the two world wars. But the place actually has a rich history that goes back more than 1,000 years. The site was the home to a native people known as the Ohlone when the Spanish arrived in 1776. The Spanish built missions, houses, and a military garrison known as a Presidio in Spanish. The purpose of the Spanish Presidios was to maintain law and order in the new Spanish settlements and to protect the coast from any British or Russian invasion. The Spanish presence eventually grew to 5 missions and 4 pueblos, or towns, in the Bay Area, which would become the city of San Francisco. In 1821, after the Mexican Revolution, the Presidio was occupied by Mexican soldiers. Then, during the war between the United States and Mexico, American soldiers landed in 1846 and captured the Bay Area. In the years to follow, the city of San Francisco would experience a rapid growth after wave upon wave of immigrants began arriving from Russia, China, and other Asian countries. During the gold rush of California, when the first buildings of the current Presidio were built, the population of the region was boosted even further, much to the dismay of Native American tribes. Skirmishes ensued, after which the Presidio became the central command center for raids against Indian tribes throughout the Northwest. In 1906, at the peak of its growth, San Francisco was devastated by a massive earthquake. Though the Presidio was damaged as well, Army personnel quickly built 20 separate tent camps that served as a shelter for more than 30,000 refugees. The soldiers also offered food and medical services. Ever since, the Presidio has had a special place in the heart of San Franciscans. In 1915, San Francisco hosted the Panama Pacific International Exposition, an event which marked the recovery of the city after the earthquake. Despite the outbreak of World War I, millions of visitors came to the city to see such wonders as the Palace of Fine Arts. The Presidio provided additional security for visitors to the exposition. One of the Presidio commanding officers, General Pershing, was appointed to lead the American expeditionary forces sent to Europe during World War I. While in France, he became a personal hero of Walt's, who tried very hard to meet him in person. The period between the wars saw a large expansion at the Presidio. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, it became the headquarters for the Western Defense Command. In the 1950s, the Presidio became the headquarters of the 6th U.S. Army. Only in 1989, near the end of the Cold War, did the Pentagon decide to close the Presidio and transfer the buildings to the National Park Service. A few years from now, one of these beautiful and historically important buildings will become the Walt Disney Family Museum at the Presidio.